So, in the last episode of my hidden video game detail series, I shared a detail from wacky first-person shooter High on Life that required you to wait for a whole hour. And that got me thinking, what are some other Easter eggs or hidden details that require some serious patience? Well, in today's video, we're going to take a look at 7 such Easter eggs. Now, the only rule that I'm imposing on myself here is that I can only use 1 Easter egg per game. To make things interesting. As always, if you do go on to enjoy this video, then leaving a like is seriously appreciated, and make sure that you leave your suggestions in the comments down below. Oh, and one more thing, I won't make you sit through each button press required to unlock some of these Easter eggs. I mean, nobody's got the time to watch me press the same damn button 80 damn times in a row, have they? Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with what is probably the first Easter egg that you thought of when I said Easter eggs that require serious patience. At the beginning of the excellent Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Cal falls asleep on a train and finds himself in a dream sequence. Now, the dream begins normal enough, with Cal making his way through the train. After passing through a couple of carriages, Cal reaches a door that is locked. It's at this point he is meant to turn around and one of those really cool scenery change moments happens. Well, if Cal doesn't turn around and repeatedly tries to open the door, this will happen.
Execute Order 66.
So after trying to open the door 66 times, Darth Sidious can be heard saying, "Execute Order 66, in reference to the same line heard in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Up next is 2009's SpongeBob Truth or Square. Now, some of my favourite video game details are idle animations. I suppose I love them so much because they are so unexpected. You might have put your controller down to check your phone, and when you next look at the screen, your character is doing something unusual. Now, Truth or Square has loads of idle animations that SpongeBob can perform, but if you wait for a really long time, eventually this will happen. Next up is Dying Light. Now, Dying Light has loads of Easter eggs, and a couple of them do test your patience, though at least this particular Easter egg is cute enough to get away with it. In Rupert's flat, you can find a pink teddy bear, which you can interact with. The cuddly toy starts off friendly enough, but the more you touch it, the angrier it gets.
Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Stop it. You ask for it.
Now, the teddy bear blowing up may seem like an overreaction, but if I poked you on the nose 16 times in a row, I'm sure you'd get annoyed too. Oh, and that Easter egg leads us nicely onto Dying Light 2. Now, anyone who has played Dying Light 1 would have probably expected to see the correct machete in this video. For those of you who don't know, acquiring the blueprint for the weapon requires you to kick a toolbox a whole bunch of times. Well, in the Bloody Ties DLC for Dying Light 2, you can actually find the blueprint for the Correct Machete V3. To find this blueprint, start the One Night in Haran challenge and head to this rooftop and destroy the cardboard satellite dishes. Then, just like the toolbox in Dying Light 1, keep trying to open the cupboard until this happens. So I had already collected the blueprint when I recorded this footage, so just imagine it's there. Now, not only do you have to try and open the cupboard a whole bunch of times, but you also have to deal with zombies trying to tear you limb from limb whilst you do so. This may lead you to think that the Correct Machete V3 is an overpowered weapon, but it's definitely not. Even after adding some high-level mods to the Machete, it barely does any damage to even the most basic of zombies. So not only does this Easter egg really test your commitment to pressing the same button over and over again, but the eventual reward is definitely not worth it. Next up is the classic Doom 3. Now, at the beginning of Doom 3, you have to make your way through the corridors of a space station. One of the rooms you come across is the canteen, which has an arcade cabinet in the corner to keep the staff entertained. Now, you can play Super Turbo Turkey Puncher 3 for as long as you like, though it is literally a game about punching turkeys, so I'm not sure how much replay value it has. Anyway, if you punch enough turkeys so that you unlock the killing time achievement, you'll have beaten the high score. Now, you may think that this is a reason to celebrate, and you will get a message from HR congratulating you on your turkey punching skills, though they also mention that you've wasted an incredible amount of time and have subsequently been docked 2 vacation days. Next up is the brilliant Left 4 Dead 2. Now, Valve have long embraced the modding community, and in 2020 they published a community-made remake of the Last Stand map from Left 4 Dead 1. At the beginning of this map, you can find a locked shed. But if you place 2 gas canisters near the door and blow them up, and then are really persistent with an axe, eventually this will happen. So after making it inside of the room, you can find the body of a very dedicated developer, along with the names of some of the people who contributed to the remake of this map. Right, let's end today's video with Titanfall 2. Now, not only does activating this Easter egg require some serious patience, but the Easter egg itself wasn't even discovered until March 2022, a full 6 years after the game released. During the Eggcellent Effect and Cause mission, you gain access to a time travel glove. Side note, if you repeatedly use the glove for a really long time, there's a chance that this will happen. Anyway, the Easter egg that we're interested in requires even more patience. Around halfway through the level, you're supposed to parkour over some flames. Well, if you instead drop down into the flames and time swap a whopping 80 times, this will happen.
In the area. Proceed to the south. Please elevator to level 4.
Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, is that it? I mean, time swapping 80 times to open this door takes some time. No pun intended. So you may have been expecting a bigger reward. Well, I can tell you that this room is actually a reference to one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time, the 1995 Jean-Claude Van Damme classic, Time Cop. Oh, and if you haven't watched that movie yet, consider this a sign to do so. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.